Welcome back to Therapy Thursday here on SecretSpool. I'm Ellie, and tonight's story lives in the quiet space between grief and love, the place where healing doesn't follow a straight line and where being honest about your past can suddenly feel like a threat to your present. This is a story about memory, insecurity, and the painful realization that love should never require erasing who you once were. Let's take a breath, slow everything down, and step into it together. I lost my first husband, John, 6 years ago. His death was sudden, unexpected, and final in the way that leaves no space for preparation or goodbye. We had been together for 8 years, married for 4, and building a life that felt steady and full. We didn't have children, but we had plans, routines, and a shared future we assumed would keep unfolding. And then, without warning, that future disappeared. Grief didn't arrive all at once. It came in waves, some overwhelming, others quiet and delayed. For a long time, it felt like learning how to exist in a world that no longer followed the rules I understood. Slowly, painfully, I learned how to carry the loss without letting it consume me. Therapy helped, time helped, support helped. I didn't forget John, but I learned how to live again without him. 3 years after John passed away, I met Ned. From the very beginning, things felt easy and natural. We laughed, talked openly, and built something new without trying to recreate what I had lost. I never felt like I was replacing anyone. Instead, it felt like stepping into a different chapter of my life. One shaped by experience, resilience, and a deeper understanding of what love could look like now. We married last year, and for the most part, our relationship felt warm, stable, and supportive, except for one issue that kept resurfacing. Ned struggled with the fact that I still had sentimental items from my first marriage. He worried that he was being compared, measured, or treated as a second choice. I understood his insecurity, and I never wanted him to feel like he was competing with someone who wasn't even alive. So I made changes. I stopped bringing John up entirely. I packed away reminders of that chapter, wedding photos, home videos, letters, gifts, even his record collection. Everything went into 2 large chests in the basement, completely out of sight. Most of John's belongings had already been given to his brother and nephews. I rarely opened the chests, maybe 3 times in 2 years, usually at his family's request, not my own. Those items weren't about longing or refusing to move on. They were markers of a life I had lived and survived. Love doesn't erase memory, and healing doesn't require pretending something never mattered. I remained close with John's family, who had been part of my life for more than a decade. Every year on his birthday, we held a reunion, not sad, but warm, filled with food, laughter, stories, and familiar music. John's family welcomed me as their own because, for years, I truly was family. They wanted to meet Ned, but he declined. He felt uncomfortable, and I respected that. I never forced him to attend reunions, birthdays, or weddings, even when it hurt that he wanted no part in my family. What I struggled with was his refusal to accept that they were still my family, regardless of blood or paperwork. Everything changed the day Ned found a few old books of John's on a shelf, items I had honestly forgotten to remove. Instead of asking about them, he accused me of leaving them there to hurt him. He said I didn't really love him, that I wished John were still alive. I was stunned. I tried to explain that loving Ned didn't require denying my past and that grief doesn't work on command. Ned told me that if I wanted to prove my love, I needed to throw everything away, every memento, every reminder. He said there were no children to pass them on to, so they had no purpose. He added that I could attend family gatherings, but not John's birthday. Then he stopped speaking to me entirely. I felt confused, hurt, and unsteady, wondering if I was somehow being unreasonable for wanting to remember my life. That night, I reached out for perspective and realized I hadn't taken the situation seriously enough. With guidance from my therapist, I told Ned that couples counseling was non-negotiable. This wasn't about winning an argument, it was about protecting the relationship and myself. John's brother came over to help move the chests temporarily into storage with his parents, simply to keep the situation from escalating further. When Ned realized what was happening, he became furious. He accused me of betrayal, manipulation, and violating his trust. He tried to stop us from moving the items and claimed my relationship with John's brother was inappropriate because we were no longer family. He insisted the chests belonged to both of us and that I had no right to remove them. By then, I was emotionally exhausted and could barely find the energy to respond. That night, I stayed with John's family. I didn't want to rush into decisions. I needed space, rest, and time to process what had just happened. My anxiety was overwhelming, and I focused on simply getting through the night. I knew many people would expect immediate answers, but I wasn't ready. I had gone from hopeful in the morning to questioning my entire marriage by the evening, and my heart needed time. When Ned and I finally spoke again, we did it over video. The conversation shifted constantly between crying, yelling, and pleading. Eventually, he agreed to couples counseling and individual therapy. I explained that I didn't expect him to attend family events, but asked if he could accept that these people were my family, even without blood or legal ties. I explained they had been my people since I was barely an adult. Ned refused to budge. He said they were not my family, only close friends, and that he would never be comfortable with the relationship. He wouldn't consider compromise. And in that moment, something became painfully clear. I wasn't being asked to heal or move forward. I was being asked to erase, to shrink my life, my history, and my connections to make room for someone else's fear. I realized that love should never require silence, healing should never demand denial, and partnership should not involve rewriting your past to make someone else comfortable. I had worked hard to process my grief with honesty and care, and I wasn't willing to undo that progress. Choosing peace sometimes means choosing yourself, even when it hurts, and even when it means facing another unexpected ending. I'm still processing what comes next. I didn't expect to be here less than a year into my marriage. I didn't imagine I would be putting away another set of wedding photos so soon. But I'm learning that honoring yourself is sometimes the bravest form of self-care. Loving deeply doesn't mean abandoning who you were, and remembering someone you lost doesn't mean you're incapable of loving again. Thank you for sitting with this story tonight. If it resonated with you, remember this: your past does not disqualify you from love. Memory is not betrayal, and grief handled with honesty is not something to be ashamed of. If this story spoke to you, consider liking, subscribing, or sharing your thoughts below. You're not alone, and you never have to heal by erasing yourself to be worthy of love.